Hey, welcome back, guys. How's it going? Sorry, didn't know you guys were here. Anyway, welcome back. Today is January, where are we at today? 9th. January 9th, 2018. 9 days in. Anyway, today's episode is going to be a follow-up on yesterday's episode. After I filmed yesterday's episode, I was getting so much feedback, like immediately after I filmed it, throughout my whole day. It felt like the whole day was filled with this topic of conversation. Now, what we're going to be talking about is that we're going to be talking about what's happening now, what was happening during the Great Depression, and just the correlation between the two. The Roaring, remember, I'm sure you guys have heard of the Roaring Twenties. So, well, we're about to hit the Roaring 2020s, the way I see it. Again, please, I could be 1 bazillion% wrong, okay? That's what makes, history, life, all these things amazing, because you just never fucking know. I mean, especially if you're really into it. So, but with that being said, like as I was discussing in last episode, and I was talking on... Oh, I'll call you later. I'm high in demand. I'm telling you, people fucking blowing up my phone. They can't even, let me record this video. Still want to talk about last video. Anyway. But, so yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to get off, topic there for a second. But anyway, so what we're going to be talking about today is just, more of the correlations that I see, especially after talking about it all day yesterday with all kinds of friends and people I kept coming across and on YouTube and shit like that about this subject. In fact, this morning, as I was reading the comments, people were leaving on the previous video that, someone was mentioning Cliff High. And yeah, I used to listen to Cliff High and all that sort of stuff, but how funny that, again, I haven't been listening to him in a very long time, but how funny that he also mentioned this in his last Alter Reporter, and stuff like that. But look, man, at the end of the day, this is just all fucking history, okay? It's all written down. We've already experienced this, and it's just there. We just gotta go and do our homework. Now, granted, nowadays it's a little harder than it used to be when we were growing up, when we could just go to we can still go to the library, but when we were growing up, we didn't have the internet, so we went to the library and the information was just there. There's no someone retyping, going through all the books and, fixing the information. Nowadays, we're too lazy to go to the fucking library, so we try to get all our information off the internet, off Google, off, what Big Brother has provided for us. And I'm telling you, when I was trying to just do some quick research on, to gather my thoughts on what I was going to talk about today, I quickly fucking realized that it's not out there. And then what is out there is already like rewritten, or I don't want to get into details, but let's just say that it's not out there. And that brings me to another point, that I wasn't even going to talk about, but I just kind of brought up as I'm talking about it right now, where, when 100 years ago, during Nazi Germany and things like that, and again, there's a million points in the human history where this has happened, okay? More than once in this last 100 years, okay? I'm gonna keep bringing this part of, the Nazi Germany and our Great Depression in that time, because that's what I feel that most people can relate to, know about, and stuff like that. I don't want to be bringing up all these weird, historical events that nobody knows what the fuck I'm talking about. But and the whole book burning thing, okay? They burned fucking books. Why were they burning books? Because it went against the knowledge that they were trying to brainwash the population with. So if there was a book that went up against, the Aryan nation or whatever the fuck, it was burned. So sure, we don't see book burnings nowadays, but we sure as hell see the equivalent of these book burnings, where it's like, you try and go online to find information and it's not there, or it's completely wrong, or it's rewritten, retyped, anything and everything. Everything. Let's just, go with like something as very simple as gender. I don't go fuck who I'm fucking offending here, okay? But let's just keep it like this, okay? I don't give a fuck what anyone talks about when it comes to like feminism and this and rights and including. Listen, I love everyone, include everybody, and we should all be fucking living together, kumbaya. But at the end of the day, when someone fucking says, the whole thing about gender, that there's like 100 genders. No, there's only 2 motherfucking genders, okay? From the beginning of time, when fucking, I think it was Mendel, the fucking, what the fuck was he, man? The monk that discovered genetics, okay, with fucking plants, okay? From that point on, we have already fucking known that there's only 2 motherfucking genders. So why the fuck now, all of a sudden, there's like a million fucking genders? I mean, all genders, all that really means is a scientific term, talking about chromosomes, you know, from male to female, bada bing, bada boom. And that goes everything from a fucking plant, you know, wood, whatever, to you and me. All right, and that's it, and everything in between. I don't want to hear anything else. So then all of a sudden you type in on Google something of talking about this subject, and all of a sudden you have all these other fucking definitions on that, and you can't. And then if you try to find the actual definition, you know, it's not even in fucking medical journals. Anyway, so that's the modern book burning. Okay, now another topic about, you know, why there's so many correlations. Okay, the whole book burning and the whole everything, that's just, you know, the stifling of knowledge, the closing off of knowledge, you know, meaning that, listen, this is the way we want our people to think, and if, you know, and therefore these things are going to give them another way to think, so we don't want them around. Okay? That's, you know, when you hear the fake news, when you hear all the censorship everywhere. Look, my video, the last video, again, I don't need the money, okay, when it comes to this, but the last video that I posted literally got the most views that I've had of all the videos I posted, yet it's been demonetized, meaning I haven't made a penny off it, like it matters anywhere. What am I going to make? $5 tops? Who cares? But that's not the point. The point is that it's not just me, it's PewDiePie too, okay? Oh my God! No, I'm not gonna fucking put a clip in, okay? I'm too busy. Anyway.
Oh my God!
So, I know, let me stay on the hot topic, alright? I got some little notes here. But look, another correlation between the 2020s, okay? And 1920, and the Roaring Twenties. You know, someone mentioned in the comments, and again, when I was out last night having a drink with a friend, and this topic also came up again. It's just all funny. Anyway, what the guy brought up in the comments was Prohibition, and how fucking hilarious that Mr. Sessions, you know, the other fucking day, well, he's been doing it for a while, but the other day he pretty much put his fucking gavel down or whatever, a little pee-pee down, and he fucking said like, okay, now we're gonna have a new prohibition on marijuana. Wait a minute. Doesn't it sound eerily familiar? You know what I mean? Like, instead of fucking alcohol, now it's marijuana. So again, you know, if you know history and you really know history and you really know what the fuck happened, you know, many years ago, you start seeing and start putting all these pieces together, and you're like, wait a minute, what? Huh? What? And then, see, the thing is that why they wait pretty much 100 motherfucking years every time that they do one of these fucking cycles from beginning to end is because it takes a whole motherfucking generation, okay, to die off before they can do it again. Because if they would have done it maybe a few years ago when the old people that still lived during the Great Depression were still alive, they would all be here giving us fucking warnings, assuming we'd be listening to them. But anyway, that's the whole fucking thing. You know, we don't really listen to our fucking elders anymore. But at this point, you know, there's almost nobody left around from that period that they're still 100 years old and can still fucking talk about exactly what happened during that fucking time. Think about it. And so, since there's no historians, there's no people out there to tell these stories about what really motherfucking happened, we have to rely on what the information they give us, the books they haven't burned yet. And again, so, you know, you're gonna have to go to a library to see if what I'm saying is true, or do some real deep digging. But at the end of the day, I know it's fucking true, and I don't fucking need to double check on fucking, you know, Google or whatever. You know what I mean? In fact, the fact that I don't see it anywhere, that's the double check I need. Okay? So, you know, I'm just looking up on stuff of, you know, the Roaring Twenties during that fucking time, anytime before the stock market crash, and all of a sudden I can't find jack shit. And I'm like, wait a minute. I know my fucking history. I've read my books. I've gone to school. Get the fuck out of here, okay? You're gonna tell me that, you know, that everything was hunky-dory and the stock market crashed and everything just fucking, you know, the Great Depression, and that's it? That's all? That's it? That's the only fucking story and we're gonna stick to it? That's all that happened in a fucking 20-year time span? I don't fucking think so. I don't think so, pal.
There are 3 genders, 4 genders, even 5.
I don't think so, pal.
So, let's just start going with the Roaring Twenties, okay? Listen, man, just for all, I'm talking to the people that do not know what the fuck I'm talking about. I know a lot of people already know what's up. But anyway, the Roaring Twenties, just put it together. Roaring 20s. What does that mean to you? That things were going awesome during the 20s, okay? And again, if you do not fucking believe me, just look at the literature from that point in human history. What was one of the greatest fucking books, one of the biggest books of the time? Come on, drum roll. The Great Gatsby, okay? And with that being said, just think of the Roaring 20s. You know what? I think I should find some fucking stock footage, okay? Of the Roaring 20s. So you can see everyone partying and dancing and drinking and the whole fucking thing. And yeah, alcohol was illegal, but it didn't stop people from fucking. In fact, people were just partying even more. And why? Because during the Roaring 20s, it's literally about the same fucking time from the 2007, 8 through all this fucking time up until we get to when we get to, okay? Remember, we're writing the history right now, okay? So I need to, kind of piece together the history we're still writing today with what's already been written, okay? So why I say that the Roaring 20s and all that shit still come in, because look, I'm gonna give you a quick one. It wasn't until 1919, okay, that the Federal Reserve, the IRS, all these motherfucking entities came into fruition, okay? And up until then, we were just finishing another motherfucking cycle, another one of these monetary cycles. And when all these things were put into place, they were put into place in order to start a new fucking system. The dollar, the whole fucking, the whole system that we have that is dying right now. Okay? And it all started in 1919. By the time it got to 1929, the stock market crashed. That was already the first 10 years of euphoria, in a sense, okay? Especially the last half of that, so like from the 20s, okay? And then after the stock market crashed, okay? After the stock market crashed in 1929, we literally did not get out of that depression up until World War II, early 40s. So over a fucking decade. And if it wasn't for that war, this country would have probably still been in a fucking depression, okay? If I get a chance, we'll talk about the how and whole thing about World War II. Maybe on another episode, because that's another fucking story, another fucking brain. So it's not what we think, and none of these things are ever what we think, okay? So right now, I really do think that what happened in 2007, 2008, what happened really, and again, remember, things are just different nowadays, but I feel that, right now, with our president and everything he's doing and all the things that are fucking happening with the fucking Illuminati and the Rothschilds and the banksters and all these fucking, all these names we like to throw around, right? All these, the entities, whatever. Anyway, what I really do think is happening, again, I'm staying neutral on this one, okay? Because I go by action, especially nowadays and what's happening today. But for everything I see this motherfucking doing, not the tweets, not the fights with fucking, Kim Jong-un or whatever the fuck, whatever. Not any of that shit. Not calling himself a super genius, not fighting with Steve Bannon. No. I don't look at any of that shit. I really just look at policies and what the fuck is happening, what he's pushing through, or they're pushing through, what's happening, and everything seems to be falling in line with exactly what was happening in a certain sense with Andrew Jackson. Okay? And during that time, okay? The last guy that actually defeated the banks and got the whole fucking thing out. So, again, I don't know if this guy, or they're still working with that, or they're still trying to be part of the whole government entity. I mean, if we're trying to break free from that, from the banksters, our country, or we're just trying to reestablish a new banker situation, okay? And by banker situation, meaning that we're getting rid of the dollar and replacing it with a new world currency, aka the cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, or whatever. Again, I'm a true believer, and I'm hoping to God, I'm hoping everything in my, everything that, this was really created by some fucking entity, and it was created to help and save humanity and all these other things, but I would be extremely dumb, extremely naive, extremely everything, all these, deer in the headlights type of thing, if I were to just look at it like that and not look at it objectively and really like dissect this whole fucking thing. And the more I dissect it, yeah, this whole cryptocurrency space, everything from Bitcoin and all the coins all the way down, could be something that was created by our government, by the Fed, by the whatever. There are government papers, okay, that literally have written down exactly, like, pretty much almost verbatim, what Bitcoin was going to be, everything about the blockchain, everything about, all the contracts, all this shit. And all this was written in the 90s, way before whatever. And it was written by our intelligence agencies, okay, as a thing that, hey, we got to make this thing, or we're going to make this thing, okay? So it's out there. So whether or not Satoshi Nakamoto, whatever the fuck, whether he was just some entity that created this, or maybe he's just a government entity that created this, Greenspan, anyway. Yeah, by the way, Alan Greenspan is like the most, he makes Elon Musk look like a fucking idiot, okay? That guy created computers pretty much for, and he's not created computers, but he's the one that integrated computers into our markets, period, end of story. That's another story for another day. But yeah, he knows his shit, okay? So don't be surprised if that's Satoshi right there. I know, hard to believe, hard to swallow, hard to whatever. But anyway, the point I'm trying to fucking make is that it doesn't really motherfucking matter right now, okay? Because it's like, just, I'm telling you, it's like, imagine I'm telling you all this information back in the mid-20s, okay? And I'm just letting you know, hey, look, we're going through a transition. They're going to make this thing called the US dollar, blah, blah, blah. We should get in on it when they come out, when they're asking for us to, bring in our gold and silver. Maybe we shouldn't, and okay, that's kind of like what I'm saying, okay? Just imagine this is like 100 years ago. I'm just going to put some black and white. That was terrible. I know. Sorry. But anyway, but yeah, it's just things, even as much as they change, they stay the same. So the whole thing with marijuana, prohibition, and the correlation between that. And just like with everything that our president is tweeting and all this craziness, everything from Oprah talking last night. By the way, so like I listened to this morning, Oprah Speech, and at first I was like, oh wow, oh good, whatever. And then when I started fucking listening to the last bit of it, where she's like, okay, now we have to take over, and it's all the women and men are going down. And I'm like, no, whoa. Hey guys, I'm just recording this to add it to this part of the video. In this part of the video, I had a clip of the Oprah speech from last night. The one that I'm kind of going to refer to here. But anyway, I had a clip there so you guys could take a look. But after I uploaded the video, it got blocked worldwide. I've never had anything blocked worldwide. And it got blocked, and it was because of that clip. Because they literally told me in an email. So, yeah, I'm just recording this to put it there. Okay, enjoy. Back to the show. Oh, P.S. This whole fucking censorship, YouTube, monetization, the whole fucking thing is beyond crazy ridiculous already, right? This video is obviously not making any money. And again, it's not about that. It's just... what the fuck? Because again, it just goes back to, what I keep fucking saying, and a lot of us keep fucking saying. All they're trying to do is, scramble our fucking brains, okay, and pit us against each other. So they've already tried everything, okay? Everything from fucking, rich and poor to race to everything. And so, like, the one that they keep fucking going at it, because it's the only thing they have left right now is just putting men against fucking women. And that's it. I mean, if this continues... Because again, I was watching the speech, and I'm watching, like, in the audience as well, and I'm watching all the actors, and they're like, the women are like, ah! And I see all the men like, yeah, exactly, all right? Exactly. So, we already know this whole thing about power, you know what I mean? Now they're power hungry, now they want the power, and you already know what's happening with that shit. And look, I love everybody equally, I love women, all right? Trust me. I love them so fucking much. It's not even funny, right? Like, anyway.
Girls. That's all I really want is girls.
So, but that's, sorry. But what I'm saying is that, like, no, man, no group, no entity, no nothing should just have all ultimate power, period, end of the day. And so, all that is going to be doing is pitting us against each other. So, for example, we already know in 2020 it's going to be Trump, and we need a candidate to go up against him. Now, the obvious candidate would have been Bernie Sanders, but again, he almost got elected. He didn't get elected. Now everybody knows what socialism is, what communism is, and the whole fucking thing. Yeah, there's still outliers out there like, pushing for that shit. But for the most part, people have educated themselves and like, whoa, thank God that motherfucker didn't come out. And so I don't see him really going up against Trump. Who knows? Who knows? Okay? But after seeing the whole Oprah thing and people pushing for that shit, hey, Mr. Trump already fucking became president. Don't be surprised if, okay, she runs and wants to become president. And again, what ultimate fucking battle would that be? Thinking about it, okay? Just think about it, okay? The woman versus the male, okay? All women for the most part and all men for the most part and all going against each other. Civil war. That's what they're trying to do. It's not gonna fucking happen, okay? If there is gonna be a civil war, it's gonna be the states versus the fucking government, all right? That's another story for another day. I got a lot of stories for other days, but that's what they're trying to do. That's really what they're trying to do. I mean, if again, go back even further in history, during the Civil War, families were fighting within each other. The same family was being torn apart because some were for the Union, some were for the Confederates. You don't think the same thing's gonna fucking happen now? Where brothers and sisters, moms and dads, moms and kids and everything, they're all gonna be fighting because it's like, how can you support that guy and not support her? Or how can you support her and not this guy? And it's going to cost. And by the way, I'm giving you a shout out to Kanye out there. We need you, Kanye. Please run for president. You can save us. I never thought I would say something like that, but
how, Sway?
Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
I mean, that's how fucking insane things are right now, okay? So, anyway, both these anyway, I see her as a puppet. He might be a puppet too. I'm talking about Trump. They might both be puppet. Who gives a fuck? Who, whatever. But the point is, that's not good. None of this is good. We should all be joining together. Like, look, we all have the same fucking problems right now, just like during the Great Depression for the most part. But why I keep bringing up the Roaring Twenties is because during the Roaring Twenties, everyone was allowed to have fun, eat shit, party, and literally forget their troubles away. The ones that could. The other ones that couldn't, well, we've already seen the black and white videos of the hunger lines and the people starving and all these other things, okay? And that was happening through the 20s, just like right now, we're okay, and then we have fucking people living on the street, like right outside our house, and like in any neighborhood in any fucking city, pretty much. The same things, that were happening back then are happening today. Only now we don't have bread lines because we give everybody food stamps cards, and they can go at their leisure. But yeah, man, I'm sorry. I know I'm going off on rants talking about all these things, but I think I'm just trying to cover all the correlations that I can see between the Great Depression, 1920s, Roaring Twenties, now. I mean, that time and now and today. Okay, let's talk about the stock market. Okay, back then. Before the stock market crashed in 1929, before Black Tuesday happened, okay, October 29th, if I'm not mistaken, okay, 1929, 229, so that was pretty, anyway, if I'm not mistaken, what was happening up until that crash is that, again, like I was saying in the last video, there was a major euphoria with people buying stocks. Because America was the first, country to allow the average citizen to not just buy stocks, but participate in the whole stock market, So just like today, someone can, get on their fucking laptop, or cell phone or whatever and trade cryptocurrencies. Well, people back then, the shoeshine boy was able to buy stock and trade in the stock market. So today, for a while now, our government and our entities, around the world have been trying desperately to get everybody back into the markets. But because of how everything is, people don't trust that shit anymore. Hence the cryptocurrency markets. This thing comes along that has no government entity. Everything's at a penny and it's going from a penny to $100 and all this. And so people are looking at it and they're like, man, I'm making $100,000 a year, but I'm poorer than I was when I was making $20,000 a year, $30,000 a year, or about the same. It's like, fuck, I need a way to make some more money. Someone that's making 20 grand a year is like, man, that ain't enough. You know what I mean? Let me just put my month's rent into this coin and hope for the best. And it's happening everywhere, with everyone all over the place. just like it did in 1920s, okay? Now, sorry, literally ran out of fucking battery in between my fucking rant. and I really just kind of forgot what I was saying. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the whole stock market and the whole whatever. Okay, so look, man, what I see right now, okay, remember we were talking about the money printing, the money inflation, all this amount of crazy fucking money just in the world right now. So not only the money printing, but all these, and again, we can talk, if you guys need more information on this, I can give you links, or please ask me questions and I can answer them real quick. But what's happening right now, besides all the crazy money printing, you gotta remember the whole world, okay, the world currency at the moment. Sorry, I had to gather my thoughts again after, the whole batteries fiasco. But anyway, the world currency right now at the moment is the US dollar, okay? And every single country in the world for the most part holds US dollars, and they have these US dollars like in their vaults as if it were gold. It's or these bonds or these papers or whatever. Anyway, and so these dollars are what, so for example, when a country says, oh, I have $20 billion in my coffers, in my vault, what they really have are just real American dollars or bonds or whatever. And so what's happening around the fucking world, kind of simultaneously, but it's happening, is that every single fucking country is getting rid of their US dollars because they're all realizing, just like we're realizing, that these things have no motherfucking value. Now, on top of that, there's other countries around the world like China, Russia. I'll just name these two. Those two are the biggest, they're enough, okay? And they're fucking starting to tell people, hey, listen, get rid of those fucking dollars, okay? And in fact, you give them to us. Or just trade them in and, we'll give you fucking gold, we'll give you oil, we'll give you commodities, we'll give you whatever, we'll give you rubles, we'll give you yuan, we'll give you whatever you want, okay? Whatever you want, all right? So the rest of the world is kind of like, well, America is not as powerful as it used to be. A lot of countries around the world have already kind of challenged America. We just don't hear about it on the news, but this has been happening since this guy's been president, Trump. And so, like for example, we're out of Syria. There's no more ISIS. There's like a bunch of other shit. Okay, I don't want to get into this again. More stories for other days. But at the end of the day, that's it. Like our stranglehold around the world is loosening every single motherfucking day. As it's loosening, the rest of the now the rest of the world feels safe enough to get rid of their dollars. Okay, some of them spitting in the face of the United States of America, like the Philippines, Venezuela, and we can go down the line. But Syria, and again with good reason. But they're now all these countries are finding it like safe to not just I gotta blow my nose. I know, I'm the best fucking YouTuber. Anyway, now all these countries are finding it like really like like safe in order to kind of go up against the United States, or at least like say, hey, we don't want dollars anymore, because they have countries like China and Russia at least kind of like backing them up. Okay, and that's starting this whole snowball effect, all right, around the world. So then this is going to take time, by the way. This is really going to take time. Okay, as much as we can talk it out, put it out there, and thinking like, oh, this is going to happen tomorrow, it's going to happen within a year. No, it's going to take a lot longer. Okay, so in order for the US, the economy, all this shit to fucking tank and fall, every single country around the world has to tank and fall first. And how are they going to tank and fall first? Well, easy. They have to get rid of all their US dollars. Once they get rid of all their US dollars, they got to have to reset their own system and then get back online and not use the US dollar anymore. And so once all the countries around the world do the same thing, we'll be the last country with all the US dollars. And then we'll have a crazy, massive inflation, and then our system will crash, and we'll be the last ones to crash, and then hopefully we'll rebuild our economy and rebuild the whole fucking country, in that sense, and get rid of the banks and shit. But whatever, that's way too far in the future. We don't know what the fuck is gonna happen there, okay? But that is what's gonna happen. We just don't know kind of like the end result there, but we already know. We're already going down this road, and we already know where we're going. We see the signs, okay? Literally, okay? So that's what's happening. That's what's going to be happening. And so in the meantime, as all these dollars, bonds, and all this shit is coming into this country, now this country is going to be obviously getting overinflated. So if they just let all this money come into this country with unchecked, unregulated, on anything, then that's when all of a sudden you'll wake up tomorrow morning and you'll go to get some bread, and like literally a loaf of bread, and the loaf of bread will be $10. The next day $100. The next day $1,000. Sure, you'll get paid that same week and you'll probably get $10,000 check. But you already see where I'm going with this, with the massive inflation and then the insanity of all of that. Okay? So, in order to prevent all that, our entities, our government, our financial system, the Fed, all these entities that are privatized, that are not our government, that are all, they're all what really control all of us. Well, now they are getting all this money, okay? And since they control it all, they themselves are putting it into certain areas. So for example, they're buying bonds, okay, their own bonds, they're buying stocks, hence why the stock market keeps going up, even though no one, not you, me, nobody's participating in the stock market, but yet it keeps going up and up and up, and it's going to continue going up and up and up because of what I just said, because all this money that keeps coming in, and they got to put it somewhere. Now, they're not going to put it all there. Where else are they going to put it? The cryptocurrency space. Why? Why not gold and silver? For a million obvious reasons. Because once those things start going up, then the whole fucking thing just crashes, all right? Because that's the key indicator around the world to every human that shit's hitting the fan. But if gold and silver are still being repressed, but yet other commodities, not commodities, other, whatever, the cryptocurrency space, that space is just blowing up and blowing up and blowing up, then that's where everybody's going to go. In fact, like people are doing now, trading in their gold, trading in their silver, trading in their assets, or hard assets, properties, you name it, in order to get into this space. And by the way, it's still early in the space, okay? I still stand by what I said before. Remember, we're very early in this, okay? Remember, the Roaring 2020's. We're still in 2018, okay? And there's going to be a crash, okay? And it's going to be a big crash. It's probably going to be this year, it might be the next year, but it's not going to be the crash. It's just not. It's just going to be kind of like a 2007, 2008 blip. It wasn't a blip for me, and it wasn't a blip for a lot of people, but for some people it was. And that's kind of what I'm trying to keep. Nobody wants to crash anything. And how about this? If Crooked Hillary, and like, I don't give a fuck all you guys, okay, what you guys think. I love all you guys, but seriously, I don't want to be talking politics or this or that. We're just keeping it history. But if Crooked Hillary would have been president, what they wanted, what that part of the cabal wanted, was World War III. That's it. Okay? World War III, and that would have just kept the system going. Now, this motherfucker, Trump, he doesn't want World War III, but he understands that we do have to go through some sort of war, whether it's prohibition, war on terror, war, whatever, some sort of something, war on each other, whatever, in order to get through this crazy fucking time. Because if all of a sudden everyone's just thinking like we are, straight and narrow, oh man, we would be on the streets revolting and, at the fucking gates. Hence why they keep our fucking brains into fucking scrambled eggs. It's on purpose. Distractions. One after the other, after the other, after the other, after the other, and it is not going to stop. It's only going to get worse. So, the whole thing with the stock market, this cryptocurrency market today, what I really do think it's a very beginning of the stock market, back in the 20s, when they were like, let's start buying it up. So, the cryptocurrency space is going to replace the stock market. So let's just go back to like the .com boom. If we're going to start putting the numbers together between the .com era and today, we're at the very, very beginning of the .com era, okay? So, again, with that being, and again, I'm telling you, I'm talking to you by the numbers, I'm talking to you with history, I'm talking to you with all this stuff. We're not anywhere near close, okay? To a bubble, to the end, to anything like that, okay? We're at the very beginning. And again, even if there's a major, which I think there will be, a major market correction within the next year or two, it's not going to stop. The Dow could take it. Look, man, come on, guys. Seriously, I know you guys don't know these things, but it's like these are the things that we all need to think about, okay? The fucking market right now, the Dow is at 25,000 points, okay? What was a Bitcoin at the other day? $18,000 to $20,000? Those points mean dollars too, by the way. So if one share of the Dow cost $25,000, okay, and a Bitcoin cost close to $20,000, what the fuck is that telling you? Remember, that's why people, and again, I don't know if this is why they were correlating, but this is why I was correlating Bitcoin with gold. Okay? Because when gold, an ounce of gold or a Bitcoin equals a share of the stock market, oh my God, it's not good. And not good in the backwards term, okay? So what I think is gonna be happening from here on end, crash, no crash, it doesn't fucking matter. But from here till probably 100,000 points, as crazy as that sounds, is that in order for us to get to $100,000 Bitcoin, the Dow also has to get to 100,000 points, period. So as the Dow increases, so will Bitcoin and all the other cryptocurrencies that will be chasing each other. The cryptocurrency space will never overtake the Dow. It will never overtake it, but it will always be chasing it. Think about that, okay? And why? Remember, all the money that's coming in, it needs to be put somewhere, okay? And so the Dow is just an indicator that the economy is doing great, even though we all know it's not doing great. But if all of a sudden we're putting our monies, our useless paper, into these coins, and these coins are turning into something, and all of a sudden we're becoming millionaires, the Roaring 2020's start happening, everyone's happy, euphoria, blah, blah, blah. What shit economy? Who the fuck are these doomsday motherfuckers? You know, blah, blah, blah. Nothing ever happened. Why the fuck do we need to buy these supplies? Why, blah, 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 blah. That's what's, I think that's really what's going to happen. It's not going to be Mad Max anything, period. I really do think it's just going to be that. And then, yeah, it's that whole crumbling of our empire is still like about a decade down the line, 10 years down the line. And by that point, I mean, seriously, by that point, I mean, I'm hoping that you guys already made a couple pennies and buy yourself an island off the coast of wherever. And watching from the sidelines, okay? For real. That's it. I mean, you know, being in this country during the 30s was shitty as fuck. Alright? So, yeah, and I think it's going to be the same thing. And why our government, the Fed and all these motherfuckers created Bitcoin and created that whole thing, well, it's very simple. Just for the same reason they created the dollar, okay? And they created, you know, all the things that they've created. Because, remember, they own the system. So, in order for them to keep owning the system, they have to create the new thing that they're going to own. I mean, come on, man. Jeez, guys, please. There's not rocket science here. But yeah, I mean, seriously, that's pretty much it right there, you know. And at the end of the day, like, they created. If you guys follow the Illuminati and all, you know, all these conspiracy theory shit, whatever, how they work is that they need to tell you what's gonna happen. Sit back and let it happen. But they already told the population it's gonna happen. So when it happens, they are clean. Their spirit, their everything, their hands are clean from this horribleness that happened because they warned the population. So, you know, yeah, man, sorry, I went off on a fucking tangent on that one, but let me see. All right, let me pause here real quick and gather my thoughts real quick, see what I talked about, and I'll be back in about 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Okay, smoke this blunt up. Continue our fireside chat. Okay. So look, I really don't know where the fuck I left off. I feel like I've been talking for a while about this subject, but it's just too much to talk about. There's a lot of information on this, and I really do implore you guys, please, I'm begging you motherfuckers out there to start doing some research, okay? Pull up, you know, whatever videos or whatever knowledge or whatever everything you can find. Go to the fucking library. Look at old newspapers. Look at old movies and videos that were filmed 100 years ago, you know, and things like that. Not 100 years ago, but whatever, like 50 years ago, doesn't matter. And just things like that. Read real books on these things, on these subjects, on this point in time in history. It's very, very fucking important, because right now, again, the reason I forgot who said this, but the further back you look into history, the further you can look into the future, okay? And this is where we're at now. I mean, it's very, as scary as all this can be, remember, why we as humans get scared, we're just scared of the unknown more than anything else. But the more we know, the less scared we are. The more we know, the more powerful we become, okay? And the less they can fucking fuck with us, hurt us, or even fuck with our minds, or change our minds, or anything like that. And by the way, why this is so crazy fucking illegal is because this is the only fucking drug that opens this up, as opposed to blocking it like every other drug, okay? I'm not opposed to other drugs too, I'm just saying. Remember, I say no to drugs, they just don't listen, unfortunately. But this is medicine, okay? And, you know, there's all kinds of medicines out there. But the one thing that this thing does, like other medicines out there, like fungus and shit like that, is that all they do is expand this, open this up, break chains, expand, you know, not just self-consciousness, but the mind, and start allowing yourself to start really questioning these things, because it's a lot harder to go up against these entities or thoughts or everything that you know of. Like, for example, like you guys already know, as you guys go down this rabbit hole, it just flips everything that you know upside down. So, and if this thing isn't working correctly, I mean, it's just not going to be good. Again, this is why this is the most dangerous fucking thing to them, period, because that and fungus and shit like that. Why? Because, you know, all those things do is that, you know, once you're on those things, you know, all of a sudden you can start calling out bullshit. Yeah. So anyway. So, I think
Talk it out, man.
I think we're gonna finish this chat right here. We talked about a million fucking things, okay? About a lot of correlations between the 1920s and 2020s. And again, we're right around the corner. It's about to happen, okay? Remember, it's 2018, okay? Remember what happened in 1919. Let's not forget that. And if you don't, look it up, guys. Just look what happened in 1919. Okay? For real. Look up the book, what is it? The Jekyll Island book, okay? You guys already should know about it. But anyway, but look, I implore you guys, okay, to not just continue opening up your minds, to not just continue doing research, studying, asking me questions, but again, spreading this knowledge. Just spreading the fucking knowledge. Period. End of story. Okay? This is what the most important thing about all this is, okay? So, again, why I mean, I'm not gonna lie, every single fucking day I'm inspired by you guys, okay, to make these videos on the historical perspective, you know, the different kind of perspective of what's really going on, because it really helps us put all this shit together. It helps us, I feel, calm us down a little bit, you know, sit back, not really fucking, you know, have our brains muddled down with all this insanity that's happening all around us, and it allows us to like fucking dissect everything and like really, you know, breathe, okay, which is very important, okay, something that a lot of us can't even do nowadays, okay, just because of how crazy everything is. Okay, that's it. I feel like this rant has gone on for way too fucking long, okay? I know most of you guys don't think that, but whatever. Anyway, so thank you so much for liking, for subscribing, for sharing, for everything, okay? Also, thank you for liking this video, watching this video, sharing this video, and the ones in the future and so forth, okay? Seriously, this is, you know, just a generalization of a humongous thank you to all you guys out there. You guys know, you know who you are. And just keep this going, okay? Seriously. I love getting, you know, questions, and I love getting all kinds of shit from you guys in order to continue these topics, okay? Seriously, I love everything, okay? So, I'm gonna cut it short, okay? That's it, I'm done. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, please subscribe, please share, please comment, please troll, please smile, and please love your fellow human, okay? And listen. Even if it's literally against everything that you think deep down inside, still listen. Because by listening, trust me, man, it's gonna just fucking expand your fucking mind to realms that you never even thought. Even if you never agree with that person, that person letting you into their mind and you understanding maybe that perspective will allow you to, make your points even stronger. Okay? Let's just leave it at that. Or it might change your mind and it might, expand your mind even more. But regardless, listen and communicate. Okay? Period. End of story. That's all we need in this space. Okay? That is it. We do not need division. We do not need fighting. We do not need any kind of anything. We need to all be motherfucking holding hands and kumbaya, and that's it. And there's going to be a lot of us that, don't agree with each other and don't whatever, but that's okay. If I don't agree with this guy that I'm holding hands with over here, it's all right. One of us will go to another part of the chain, but it doesn't mean that we can't all hold hands together, because I'll get down there and there's going to be a couple people that agree with me, and we'll all kind of like eventually agree, and that whole thing, and it's all about the kumbaya. But if all of a sudden, which is what we're doing now and what they're trying to do to us, is that splitting up that chain, is splitting us all up into little groups, whether it's male and female, whether it's black and white, whether it's fucking rich and poor, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Whether it's Kanye and Jay-Z, it just doesn't matter. We need to be together, man, more than ever, okay? So, please, okay, guys, if you take anything out of this, all right, we need to start a petition to get Jay-Z and Kanye back together. All right, sorry, I'm already talking a lot of shit. Some good weed I got today. All right, guys, love you. Please like, please share, please subscribe, and thanks for not turning me off, even though I talk a lot of crap. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys mañana. Hey, look at this shirt I got. Last time I wore this, I was in Vancouver. That was like a year ago. No, 2 years ago. No, 3 years.